From the moment we are born, we are being shaped into a mold. This mold consists of the things parents, peers, and school is teaching you. The idea behind this is to teach us how to be functioning members of society. However, a common trend that I've noticed is that as we get older, our mental health is undermined by school, work, and ultimately money. And while these things do hold a lot of importance, I believe that it's so easy to get caught up in these things in your day-to-day life that it's really easy for people to forget to let go every now and then and release control and have some spontaneous fun. The way I learned this lesson all began last year when I decided to move up to Washington from San Diego in order to go to school and play soccer. All year I focused on school. I had a heavy emphasis on school. I made sure that I was always there at every single soccer practice, and on top of all of that, I worked in order to be able to support myself financially. I hated my work. I was a banquet waiter. However, I justified it by telling myself that I needed to do it in order to survive. My goal for the summer was go home to San Diego for 2 weeks, catch up with friends and family, and then after the 2 weeks, I would come back up to Washington and continue working for the rest of the summer. And this is exactly what I did. I went home and basked in the San Diego sun for 2 glorious weeks. However, I did end up coming back up, and immediately I felt the dark, looming presence of work over my head. When I got back up to Washington, I was working every single day, and pretty much the only thing keeping me sane was knowing that school was going to start in 3 weeks. Day in and day out. It was wake up early, work, come home late. No fun, no nothing. No time for anything else besides work. When all of a sudden, one day, I got a call from my mom out of the blue. And my mom told me that my grandfather in Germany was falling ill and he needed a little bit of help, and that she would drop everything if I would drop everything too, and buy me a ticket on the spot for 2 days in advance if I agreed to go with her. I was super, super conflicted. I was super unsure as to whether I should stay up in Washington and continue working, or whether it would be worth it to drop everything and quit my job and go to Germany for a summer, which kind of sounded like a dream to me at the time. I weighed all my options, and while staying in Washington was the rational adult choice, I decided screw it, and I quit my job and I left 2 days later for Germany. I didn't know how everything would work out, but I released control, and I just knew that the universe would somehow take care of me. Germany ended up being the experience of a lifetime. I got to travel alone, I got to party with my mom, and most importantly, I got to create connections with my family like I've never had before. Essentially, I'd say it was 100% worth it. When I got back, money was tough. However, there was no amount of money that could have compensated for the experience I had. And I had to think to myself that it's so sad how sometimes people can get so caught up in the responsibilities of their day-to-day life that they can forget to live. And I see this happen especially among adults. However, I am a firm believer that if you do have all your responsibilities in check, every single now and then, it is necessary to cut loose, do something spontaneous, do something crazy, out of the ordinary, and have fun while doing it. I took a step back. I released control. I relinquished my fear of not knowing what was going to happen next, and I am a true firm believer that this is a crucial part of the human experience.